They say to dress for the job you want, not the job you have. And I want to become a lizard person. I would like to rule you. I'd like to lie to your face and then do something else because it benefits me. I would like to be as corrupt as possible. I would like to enrich myself and then tell you it's for your own benefit. I'm Jeremy Kauffman, and I'm running for U.S. Senate. I'm serious.
Today's show is sponsored by libertarian conspiratorial fantasy author Jack Casey. Whether you're looking for a 3-book fantasy sci-fi epic of love, death, and dystopian civil war like the Royal Green series, or just looking for a quick, dark, comedic cultural commentary tale about a transsexual slayer of COVID regime vampires, like his latest book, WVW, Jack Casey Books will keep you adequately entertained and pondering the universe to your weird little heart's content. He's the Ayn Rand meets Stephanie Meyer meets somebody who actually writes entertaining books with his own unique little downer-esque flair. Find out more about Jack Casey Books at the aptly named jackcaseybooks.com. Once again, that is jackcaseybooks.com. Have you guys heard of Matt Miller? He's not only the guy who paints those amazing portraits of all your favorite heroes in the liberty movement and in pop culture, but he's also now an official sponsor of this show. From Murray Rothbard to Ron Paul, Dr. Robert Malone to Darth Maul, Matt Miller's Liberty Portraits has something fun for everyone to spice up your home or office and showcase your heroes. Go check out his incredible work at libertyportraits.com. Grab a print to impress your friends, hire him for a custom portrait, or bring him out to a festival to capture your event in real life in a beautiful and unique way. To find out more, just head over to libertyportraits.com. Once again, that is libertyportraits.com.
Oh, yeah. Getting kicked off of YouTube today, boys and girls. That's right. We're going to premiere a music video and get kicked off of YouTube in the same video. I didn't plan it this way, but it works out nicely that that the topic that we're going to talk about today is going to probably get us kicked off of YouTube, and at the same time I'm premiering this music video, so I can always say that, the silver lining to that would be I have the bragging rights of releasing a music video and having it getting pulled off of YouTube, because I guess that makes me based or something. But we are going to do that today. We're going to do lots of things today. We're going to talk about news. We're going to talk about Reno. We're going to talk about monkeypox. We're going to talk about what else? Ricky Gervais. We're going to talk about John Mulaney, Dave Chappelle. A lot of comedy, controversy stuff. We're going to talk about Biden, and we're going to talk about politics and all the stuff. And it's going to be a short show today. I'm going to pretend like it's going to be a short show, like I always do, because I still haven't packed for Reno, and I am leaving to go to Reno tomorrow to watch the Libertarian Party fall or something. I don't know. It might be a little bit played up or something. It's going to be a beautiful, beautiful shit show. I have a feeling deep down inside, but I'm not going to talk all that much about Reno because it hasn't happened yet. And as stoked as I am to think about what the potential is for Reno, I don't know what's going to happen there. So it's why speculate? Anyway, we are going to play this music video right off the bat, even before the intro stuff, but it can't be before the most important thing, which is you guys in the Downers Club, my favorite sponsor. Right here. All right. My producers, James Gentleman, Perry Nord, Donald Villa, Leah Ann, Danielle, Kimberly Owen, Matt Miller, Andrew W. Magoo, Gremlin 666, Zara Thanarchy, Heffalumps, Woozle, Shannon Mart something, Paul Brandenberger, Derek something, Howie Snowden, Brian McWilliams, Mary Rome, other people. If you want to get your name on that list and possibly have it read in correctly by myself, go on over to patreon.com/thesystemIsDown and sign up for the Downers Club today. You'll get all the bonus stuff the more weird, the more raw, the more offensive, more weekly content. You get bonus episodes of this show every single week, including today, when I have not packed and am leaving tomorrow for Reno. I will still give you more content than you deserve for your measly $5. Also, for as little as $1, you can join us for the after parties as they live stream and hang out and be a part of our fun little community there. So go on over to patreon.com/thesystemisdown and sign up for the Downers Club and join the cult today and stuff. All right, so there's this song that we've been working on for way too long. Some of the topics may have been much more relevant at the time that they were written and recorded. However, it still bears true, and we're going to get into a lot of reasons why this isn't just a song about COVID. This is a song about everything that we're going through right now in our society. So I teamed up with some guys. I just had a harebrained scheme of... so I used to make music back in the day. I don't know if you remember. It's been a bit. But every now and then I'll put out a song these days. And I had this idea of if I just record... if I just write a beat and then I record my parts, or my verse and a chorus hook, I can have 2 or 3 other guys fill in the rest of the work, and I might actually get to complete a song. So that's what happened. I hit up 3 guys that are good friends of myself and the show. 2 of the 3 have been on the show several times. I guess I should probably have the 3rd one on at some point. But this is Dave Casey. You guys are familiar with. Obviously, he's on the show like every other week, and he's got his show, Dave vs. Goliath, and he is my alternate reality, much older, gentlemanly self. But and Clint Russell from Liberty Lockdown. I guess he has done some rap stuff back in the day, and I knew that he did his own intro and stuff like that. And Tyler Colford, a.k.a. Crypto Man, is a guy who's been hanging around the same Liberty circles as me, Lines of Liberty and stuff like that. We've crossed paths a time or two. And, yeah, hit these guys up, and I was like, hey, you guys want to write a verse and see what happens? Because our little group here of libertarians and people who are crazy enough to think that they can do something in this world worth value, we need to focus on making culture and making art and stuff like that. So I wanted to do this kind of collaboration and, promote each other's work, and have some fun while putting out a message there. We'll see if it lands. We'll see what you think. But without further ado, this is the latest song that I did with some friends. It's called Freedom or Die. Here you go. And here you go. Oh, come on.
Freedom or die, mama, they got me digging my grave tonight. 'Cause they'd rather see a hole in my head than a thought that they can't deny. They can't take all of us.
Shimmy, shimmy, shams for total surveillance. No means no, you totalitarians. It's money, power, respect, and the skills to survive. Yeah, taxation is death, mass murder in disguise. They rule through Gulf of Tompkins, don't listen to their lies. Just war property is plundering by design. But I won't let it affect me, yeah. Crypto's on his grind, it's freedom or die. And I'ma say it every time.
Freedom or die, mama, they got me digging my grave tonight. 'Cause they'd rather see a hole in my head than a thought that they can't deny. They can't take all of us.
We ain't your property, it's awfully clear you want war with me horribly. But my misery needs company, and I'm getting awfully lonely in my motherfucking home base. So maybe you don't own me, and maybe you don't want to, 'cause you don't know what I'm about to do. And I'm awfully fucking dangerous when you treat me like a man who has forgotten where he came from and the blood that made it possible. So here's my final offer, test me further if you want to, but neither walks away from this conscience clear, though I don't want to.
Freedom or die, mama, they got me digging my grave tonight. 'Cause they'd rather see a hole in my head than a thought that they can't deny. They can't take all of us.
Zombies lined up for the double jab. Bioweapon from another lab. I don't wanna debate you, to come from nature. I just don't need none of that. If Bill Gates selling, I ain't buying. Fauci lying, people dying. FYI, I'm not complying. Looking through their eyes, you cannot deny it. Modify their DNA, break their spirit till they obey. Take away their right to pray, and they will give their rights away. Living in fear, 1 foot in the grave. Had a career so we wouldn't be brave. This is the time, yeah, so on the line. I will not live like no slave, nah.
Freedom or Freedom time, mama, they got me digging my grave tonight. 'Cause I'd rather see a hole in my head than the thought that they can't deny. They can't take all of us.
No, they can't take all of us. It's obvious, they're onto us. The kamikaze apocalypse, telling us they quit. Listen, different complex is a match to divide and conquer us. It's probably just coincidence calling us terroristic misfits with a lobbyist. Sing Molotov cockpits at the wall intending no the system. I've been searching all the threatening, but they tick-tock on the terror. Wristwatches drop bombs on the medicated kids of a land so free that they keep us in cages for sicknesses that they created. And it's not just a Montebomber suicidal to live in a system holding on to how they're harming our kids. We can't coexist if you don't back that shit up. I'll be dead before I let you have my baby's freedom.
Freedom of time, mama, they got me digging my grave tonight. 'Cause they'd rather see a hole in my head than a thought that they can't deny. They can't take all of us. Please don't cry, I was waiting, but I'm gonna need a little more time. Little so they remember my last words well. Freedom of. Please don't cry, I was waiting, but I'm gonna need a little more time. So they remember my last words well. Freedom of.
So there's that. There's that song. I mean, I'm not sure what I'm supposed to say after it. Like, am I supposed to review my own song, give my reaction, whatever? You review it in the comments. Let me know what you thought. That'll be coming out. Just the video by itself will be coming out in about an hour and a half, I believe, on this channel is scheduled to drop. So you will be able to share that if you would be so kind. I would appreciate it. And it will also be up on all the streaming platforms like your, I don't know, Apple Musics and your Spotify's and stuff within, I don't know, a couple days or so. There's some processing and shit. I'm not professional at this thing or anything. But yeah, let me know what you thought. And if you want to hear more stuff like that, let me know. But we're moving on now because I'm not going to sit here and talk about myself. We're going to talk about some news, and we're gonna head on over and get canceled in the actual thing. So if you're new here, welcome, and come find out what everybody's talking about, which is the news roast, which is on Wednesdays, and now it's Tuesday. Let's get weird.
All I ask is, if we have to give these bastards our lives, we give them hell before we do!
The tragedy of our day is the climate of fear in which we live.
Talking about the Salomon Brothers building collapsing.
I would ask the congressman to withdraw that comment and tell us that he didn't really mean that. I don't know what I said. I did not have sexual relations with that woman.
The Bible commands that certain people be put to death.
These were possessing weapons of mass destruction.
9/11 attacks were carried out by Al-Qaeda.
Handle the truth.
I remember that with that smoke! We are still here!
We have to say yes to socialism.
No, it's a big club, and you ain't in it.
It's a big club. You ain't in it. But you're in this club, and you know I love you more than the government does. All right, so what we do here is we talk about news and stuff, and normally I'll try to have a co-host on to interact with, so it's not just me awkwardly fumbling over myself and my words. But I didn't feel like doing that today because I don't like myself. I wanted to celebrate this moment by myself. Actually, I need to actually go as quickly as possible through some of these. There's some stuff that I just had to get out. Like, I was like debating on even doing an episode this week, and then stuff just kept snowballing and piling up in the news, and I was like, I have to talk about this stuff or my brain is going to explode, especially if I go into Reno with all this useless information that I haven't poured out into my online therapy session, which, if you didn't know. But if I go into Reno with all this useless information, I'll be distracted from Reno or what, I don't know. But I have to get this out there. That's what I'm saying. So, yes, it is great to have somebody else always and all that fun stuff. But today we're flying solo so that we can keep rolling. And as I say this, I'm realizing that it's being drawn out longer with me having to explain why I'm going quickly. But we are going to go quickly, so let's get to it. This is the place where we talk about the news. It's the least trusted name in news, where you come to hear all the depressing things in the world and have a good laugh at it. Because as the world ends, what better to do than laugh at it and give it all the due, I don't know, love that it deserves, which is some. And of course, we always start out with the good news. The good news. First off, if you're in the chats, hey, I'm going to try and read some of them as we go. If you are a member of the Downers Club especially, you can put fake super chat. YouTube does not allow me to super chat, so you can put fake super chat in all caps and then post your comment, and I will be more likely to read it. But if you're not in the Downers Club, you can also do that. Anyway, let's get into it. We always start out with the good news so that we set the stage for all the happy things and you feel good about yourself, and then we pull the rug out from under you. And the good news, of course, is that Netflix just axed woke anti-racist baby show aimed at preschoolers before it airs. As it crap, this is in the wrong order. This is not the good news. This is awful news. Everybody was just clamoring for anti-racist baby, this new show aimed at preschoolers. And we're all very disappointed, I'm sure, now, too. Even if you are, like, one of the wokesters that gets down with this stuff, did you want this? Like, is this what you were looking for, really? Are there too many racist babies floating around? We gotta really get them while they're young and make sure that they know that racism is bad, because they won't ever figure that out in their life. They need preschool age educational informational programming for children to let them know racism bad. Kids, if you're watching, first off, don't, because this isn't a show for kids. Also, to all you parents out there, if your kids are watching, you're a bad parent. But yeah, kids, don't be racist. The end. All right, so there's that. Netflix axed that, and great. Yeah. They had been talking about, like we covered last week, I think it was, Netflix said something about this woke stuff. Like, if you have a problem with our content, basically, if you're employed here and you have a problem with our not woke content, then this probably isn't the place for you, which good on them, Netflix, for that should not be a bold statement, but today it is for some reason. If you don't like the products that we're making at this establishment that you're working at, then you probably shouldn't work at the establishment that's making the products that you don't like. So yeah, they have been cracking down, and it's clearly because it's not working. It's not working because they're like in the tank as far as stocks and users and everything else. But they're clearly going in a different direction now. And I like there was a part of me, I heard this Ricky Gervais stuff came out this morning that now everybody's mad at Ricky Gervais, which we're going to talk about that more later. But everybody's mad at Ricky Gervais for putting out this really offensive new special today, which is like a couple days after all this stuff starts going down with Netflix and being anti-woke. But it's almost like they were preparing. Why do I have guests in here? Get out of here. Hold up. I didn't even notice. Yeah, it's almost like they knew that Ricky Gervais was coming down the pipe, and they're like, well, we better let people know. We better let them know that if you don't like this type of stuff, leave now, because there's some stuff coming. And we're gonna put a pause on that and get back to it later, and there's some stuff coming. But moving on. Sorry, pour one out for Netflix's anti-racist baby that they thought would be a smash hit. All right. What else do we have in the comments here? Penord says debatable. Okay. Shannon at Dave, you've been holding back, homie. I'm just going to start. like, instead of looking for the fake super chats, I'm just going to, like, jump into the middle of the conversation that you guys are having between each other and only read things out of context and make them sound worse. But anyway, back to it. Oh, Anthony Portobello says, good shit, fellas. Thank you, Anthony Portini. All right, moving on. I need a drink. Next, we have John Mulaney. Continuing on with the offensive stuff. John Mulaney was trending this week because people who went to a John Mulaney show were offended that and triggered because they got a free Dave Chappelle show. They got bonus show from the guy who is funnier than John Mulaney, and they were very triggered by it. I'm not going to dig too deep. We'll dig a little bit into this because we are going to look at what the jokes were specifically that were told and how offensive they were. But, of course, they were the anti-trans jokes, of course, and the anti-gay jokes. Very, very offensive. We'll talk about exactly what they were in a moment. But, yeah, John Mulaney draws criticism for having Dave Chappelle tell transphobic jokes at Ohio show. Now, to be clear, by transphobic, they mean any joke that even hints at the idea of trans people. That's what transphobic means. If it hints at them at all, bad. And we'll see that momentarily. During a Friday performance on his From Scratch tour, comedian John Mulaney surprised his audience and drew criticisms from some fans when Dave Chappelle appeared as the opener and told what sorry, this is far away. And told now I lost my spot. Told what were described as transphobic jokes. Chappelle's opening act occurred during a show at Ohio State University, Value City Arena in Columbus, Ohio. Okay, who cares? Whatever. John Mulaney is a funny guy. I like his stand-up. Not a big fan of his, adult comedy sitcom thing about child sex and stuff, but I do enjoy his comedy, and to me, in this, from what I've discovered in my expert sleuthing skills, the only crime committed here is that Dave Chappelle was opening for John Mulaney. And again, I like John Mulaney's comedy, but yeah, not even a comparison. Not even a comparison. Anyway, so I did a little digging and found a couple interesting threads. We're going to read this one. This is from Reggie Dill Pickle May, not Reggie Duh. So, it's legit and super credible, but that's what we do here. He says, Dave Chappelle at John Mulaney, Ohio thread. Gonna shoot this off, blah, blah, blah. Yes, Chappelle was there. He made one transphobic joke. The joke was one line after one line of setup, and it went as followed. So, it went as followed. As follows? I would imagine you're going for. Quote, I mean, it wasn't a gun, it was a knife. A gun that identifies as a knife. He then paused, smiled a bit, and moved on quickly. That's it. That's transphobic. Not criticizing anything, any lifestyle, and just hinting at their existence, ironically enough, by including this very subtle wink to trans people. That's it. And then the homophobic joke was him saying, maybe you two are gay. I don't know. Nothing wrong with that, if that's the case. That's homophobic now. You guys might be gay, but that's fine. So, including you, saying, alluding that you might exist within a joke. Not mean-spirited, not anything. That's transphobic, and acknowledging that some people are gay and that's okay, that's homophobic now. And war is peace. All right, that's enough on that. We're going to keep moving because this is stupid. But it's funny that even this guy, as he's trying to be like, the voice of reason, like, here's what happened, yada, yada, he still goes on to say things like, It's entirely possible that this was something where Mulaney had no idea what he was going to say, or even that he had final say on yes or no. This is funded by Netflix. Mulaney looked extremely uneasy afterwards. Overall, to think logically about this, I think the idea that John Mulaney would willingly place Dave Chappelle in front of an audience he might hurt because John Mulaney hates the LGBTQ community is a stretch. He might have just made a mistake. What was the mistake? Having such gay fans? Having such fragile fans? Is that it? Like, how many people were actually offended by this? It speaks volumes to who John Mulaney's normal fan base is if these are offensive jokes to, the gay trans community. And in fairness, there's a very good likelihood that there's an awful lot of people who are mad about this right now who aren't gay or trans. They're just scoring points because that's what we do now. But there's that. That's your transphobia for the week, I suppose. Oh, wait, there's more. Hold on. I moved my buttons around so I can't find them properly. Let me see what is next. Oh, yeah, I did want to touch on, speaking of Dave Chappelle, his attacker has come out and spoke as to why he attacked him with the trans knife gun, which is a confusing thing of its own. Like, if you don't understand the joke that Dave Chappelle said, it was a knife. The guy who attacked Dave Chappelle on stage had a knife in his pocket. I don't think he was, brandishing it or anything, but he had it in his pocket, and it was a knife that looked like a gun. It was hidden within a gun. It was a fake gun with a knife that got through security. And so you didn't want him to know you had a knife. So instead you dressed it up as a gun to elude any suspicion or anything that it might be dangerous, right? Checks out. I don't understand either way, but the guy attacked him and he had this on him, so that was the joke that Chappelle was making. Not to explain his joke, but it does play into this next story, which is the attacker and why he did what he did to Dave Chappelle. This is from New York Post, so you know it's legit or something. Accused Dave Chappelle attacker Isaiah Lee reveals why he tackled comedian. The Los Angeles man accused of attacking Dave Chappelle said he was triggered by the comedian's jokes about LGBTQ community and homelessness, as he insisted he never wanted to harm the funny man. He never wanted to harm him. He just wanted to tackle him. That's it. Just wanted to tackle him and explain to him the error of his ways. I'm not looking to hurt you, man. I'm just looking to rush the stage, lunge at you with a weapon on me, and explain rationally why I think your jokes are in poor taste. Checks out. In an exclusive Jailhouse interview, Isaiah Lee told The Post that Chappelle should be more sensitive when it comes to the jokes he cracks. Quote, I identify as bisexual, and I wanted him to know what he said was triggering. Yeah, clearly. No shit. You attacked a man on stage. Yeah. Seems like you were at least mildly triggered. That or you're a crazy person. Probably both. But Lee said Saturday at the Twin Towers Correctional Facility in Los Angeles, dressed in brown jail garb and sporting a sling on his broken right arm. Quote, continued, I wanted him to know that next time he should consider first running his material by people it could affect. Who? So, do you mean gay people? Or do you mean weak-ass bitches? If he just went out and found gay people, a lot of them aren't weak-ass bitches. They know what the difference between jokes and reality. And they can handle jokes because they're humans instead of, I don't know, soulless androids or whatever you identify as. But who was he supposed to run it by exactly? Like his friends? Like he has gay friends, he has trans friends. He's talked about this on stage at length. And that doesn't matter, obviously. But yeah, he's supposed to run it by friends or people that hate him. Because people that hate him are going to be offended by the nothings like this knife identified as a gun. So he's supposed to present his material to the angry mobs and say, do you guys find this offensive? If so, I won't say it. Isn't that like the point of angry mobs? Isn't that like their whole thing? I don't know. But lots of gay guys real mad about comedy these days. It seems like I don't understand, but you do you, I suppose. Speaking of, as was mentioned, sorry, I'm trying to refill this without spilling it all over my desk, as I often do. Speaking of, as I mentioned, Ricky Gervais has a new special out, and yes, I did immediately watch it, and the reason that I watched it was because of all you weak-ass bitches who are getting really offended that it exists. It's a great marketing strategy, you guys. I gotta say, you guys are doing great if you were looking to get Ricky Gervais's numbers up there, because when I saw the article that said lots of people are like outraged that Ricky Gervais said some offensive jokes, I'm like, that's his job, so great. Sounds like he's doing a really good job of it, and I'm gonna go see what he has to say. And he's doing a pretty good job of it, I gotta say. I didn't pack this morning because I got stuck. I was going to listen to this while I packed for Reno, and then I got stuck because you can't understand a damn word he says if you're not reading it. Let's be honest. Like he's not the worst. He's not like Russell Brand bad or anything. But he's a little hard to understand sometimes, and it's funny if you actually know. It's funnier if you actually know what he's saying. So I always have the captions on because yes, believe it or not, I can read sometimes when I feel like it. But I got stuck watching this and watched the whole thing and didn't stop until it was over. And it was great, and it was offensive, and it was hilarious, which is, I'm pretty sure, the point. Let me get my screen lined up here. Yeah, not a lot on it other than my thoughts, and my thoughts are that people are mad about stupid things again. Shocking. And that I will say that this is this is edgier than Dave Chappelle's stuff. Like Dave Chappelle's stuff, I love it. I love his last special. It was a little bit soft. It was a little bit explainy, a little bit, which Ricky Gervais is a bit explainy in this as well. But I think there's more as far as like just fuck you, I'm going to go for the joke because that's my job content, attacking everybody. And I don't want to spoil it because it just came out today, but it's good, and it is offensive to everybody. If you liked South Park back in the day, maybe you'll like this because it's real and human and inclusive, and that's the main thing that stuck out to me. Is the thing that I've said many, many times on this show. Offensive jokes, like jokes targeted at these specific groups or demographics or whatever, it's just inclusion. You're not the only people that are being made fun of. You're not the only people that get offended by things even. You're just the only people that take it to this degree of you must be stopped because you're harming people with jokes. I'm sorry, but no. Nobody's being harmed. If you are offended easily, don't listen to offensive content. The end. If you don't like somebody or their beliefs, definitely don't give them the viewership. And also don't, if you're going to be outraged though by it, go watch it for yourself because, yeah, it is offensive and it is inclusive. And he explains that. He lays it out. And he makes some very good points in there as well. And so, of course, after I watched it, okay, so I'll just read my tweet, what I shared. I said, I'm writing this through tears. I used to be a huge Ricky Gervais fan, but after what he said about God and Christianity in his new special, I feel so deeply betrayed and attacked. I have no choice but to shut the fuck up because they're jokes and I'm an adult. Ugh face. Anyway, you never see that. You never see, that's what you saw of yesteryear. Yes, cancel culture originated mostly within conservative Christian circles and pushing for parental advisories and this can't be allowed in movies and you can't say that and you can't say that on the radio and stuff like that. That comes more from the conservative side, actually. But this, you never see that anymore. You never see people getting outraged that Christians are being attacked or that God is, like, jokes, let's say. I don't mean attacked. I mean jokes, which isn't attacking. But yeah, Ricky Gervais is a well-known atheist, so obviously I wasn't serious. It wasn't a surprise to me that he made jokes about God and Christianity and stuff like that. But I just find it interesting that it's only, as Ricky Gervais points out very clearly, there's only one group of people that you can't make jokes about, and it's fucking weird. If you want to be included. Inclusion comes with offense. Inclusion comes with all of this stuff. You don't want to be included in jokes? You don't want to be a part of the joy that we're having at a comedy show? I guess don't go to a comedy show. But that's enough of that. All right, how long do we got before the monkeypox? No, still got a few more. Speaking of psycho weak ass bitches. Crazy people, let's say. Kamala Harris. I don't know. There's no context to this. I don't know. I don't care what the context is. I just ran across this and had to share it because it's beautiful. And this is the vice president of these United States of America. And it doesn't matter what she's talking about or what the question was at all. All that matters is that this was the answer.
And continue to work together to address these issues, to tackle these challenges, and to work together as we continue to work, operating from the new norms, rules, and agreements that we will convene to work together on to galvanize global action. With that, I thank you all. This is a matter of urgent priority for all of us, and I know we will work on this together, which is why we will work together and continue to work together.
All right, shut up, for real. Couldn't even hear it.
Shut up, silly woman.
So, again, it doesn't matter what that's about because it's clearly about nothing. Whatever the question was that she was asked, she had a time, an allotted amount of time that she had to fill. This is I like the meme says, when you have an essay due and there's a 3,000 word requirement, just fill in that time. Filibustering at a press conference is a very strange tactic. It doesn't usually go well, but there it is. Is anybody in these chats? You guys are awfully quiet today. Am I boring you? Am I? Did you come get your song and move on? Is that it? Did you come expecting Dave Casey to be here for something to look at? I get it. I understand. I'm going to be sleeping with him tomorrow. I'm going to be bunking with the Delaware house. They got an Airbnb tomorrow, so that will be fun. Allegedly. I'm like non-committal to emotions of the future because I'm just realistic. It will be fun with the Delaware people. But what if it isn't? I mean, it might not be. I don't know. It might suck. There might be like a flash flood or something and they might get the top ripped off by a tornado. I don't know. Anything's possible. That's all I'm saying. But speaking of people babbling and prattling on about absolutely nothing, people outside of me and Kamala, Jon Voight posted this just an ominous video. You remember Jon Voight? He is that guy who acted in some things, and you know him when you see him, but you can never remember what he's in. He's in things and stuff, but here's what he had to say, and let me know what you make of it. He captions it, "This life we live." Jon Voight. Here we go.
A life that was turned upside down. We lost family members. We were kept apart. And we lost our love for life, our hope, our faith. And we shut down. Through the dark, we found some light. We made music, we cooked, we tried to laugh. But life was dark. We stood the test of time for our trail on this earth. We made it through and lived to tell this tale, but we lost good people through the loss of our president's historic chair. Our President Trump, with all his love for this nation, was told he cannot sit in that chair. We lost good people through this darkness. Yet we stood the time, and now we're heading for the opening of God's light, for every family to meet again, to greet again, to love again. We'll have a memory to share, but it will be with many tears. This life we live was turned upside down, but now I'm here to say that we will rise, for we are here now, and we're living the story of God's glory.
Like, did it
Family
loop?
of love,
I
family
like
of
I'm
truths.
hypnotized
We may have
by
lost
I don't
all
even know what he's saying.
But we haven't lost our soul, our trust, our hope.
What?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what he's going for there. Very vague, very cryptic. Trump, I guess, the Trump leaving is the downfall of humanity. And I just want to be very clear. I got a stupid ass conversation with somebody on Twitter this morning after I posted something about Trump is like buddying up with Johnson & Johnson. He's talking about how much they've got so much money. They're a great company. They're great people. Loves them vaccine companies and Johnson & Johnson, a clotting company. But yeah, I just posted something about that is enough for me to be like, he's not a good leader. He's not. He can't be trusted at this point. And I mean that not just for that. Obviously, there's plenty more, but that would be enough for me. And some boomer chimed in with like, oh, because Biden isn't all that bad. Or no, the post I said was that's enough. And yeah, Biden sucks or something, but Trump sucks. Like, it was a little bit smarter sounding than that, I promise. But some guy chimed in, and just I don't know, like beating around the bush of trying to say something, and I can't even understand. Republicans, I'm sorry, but no. He had his chance. He had his run. And yes, he was better than Biden. And that is such a low fucking bar for you to hang your hat on. It's mind-blowing. Like, Biden being that as bad as he is does not make Trump better than what he is. So stop pretending like he's God's gift to humanity. And the guy, he was basically saying that that I'm defeating my own statement or something because I'm acting within the two-party system. And I'm like, I basically just said, clearly you're new here, bless your heart. And he got all triggered and said some stuff. But boomer Republicans, I love you, and I was there. I was one of you. Yes, I was born a boomer Republican, but I understand that Biden is really, really bad. Please stop pretending like Trump is not bad, at least. Like, he made the lockdowns. That was him. He did the lockdowns, and he loves that he made the vaccine. It was his greatest accomplishment. He's still bragging about it today, to the extent that people go to his rallies and boo him for talking about it. But he still doesn't understand. And I'm not saying, like, because he sucks, therefore vote for Biden. I'm saying because he sucks, don't vote for him. That is all. Find somebody better. Is that really that hard of a concept? Anyway, that's my diatribe there. I don't remember even where it started, but Jon Voight, that's where it started. Jon Voight, I didn't even mean to talk about Trump today at all, I don't think, but just the creepy nonsense of Jon Voight is very troubling. Just, he said absolutely nothing of that. We have been through some things, and we've been things, and things have happened to us. There were lots of things, dark things, light things, big things, little things, one thing, two thing, red things, and blue things. And Trump was a guy, and God bless America. Amen. So there's that. And speaking of just, I don't know, just things that are confusing, have you guys heard about Asteros cybersecurity? Here you go.
Today's episode is sponsored by Asteros Cybersecurity Services. These days, organizations of all sizes are targets for cyber criminals, disgruntled employees, or even nation-state attackers. Asteros performs cybersecurity services providing expert guidance to help organizations defend against threats and protect their data. Asteros specializes in penetration testing, where they perform ethical hacking on networks, web apps, or organizations as a whole to simulate what an attacker would do and plug the discovered holes before anyone malicious finds and exploits them. Asteros also specializes in vulnerability management, security awareness training, phishing simulations, cloud security audits, compliance readiness assessments, and much more. As technology expands, it becomes easier and easier to run a business, but if your security is not growing along with your company, then you're going to run into problems. If you don't personally have a company of your own, definitely pass this information along to someone who does, because for a limited time, Asteros is offering companies an attack surface audit completely free. Let Asteros discover potential entry points to your network and how susceptible your company or organization is to cyber attacks. To learn more and to take advantage of this essential offer, just go to asteros.com/free. That's Asteros, ASTEROS.com/free.
All right, let's get canceled now. Hopefully the algorithms don't listen this far into the episode, because I don't think we've said anything too terribly controversial. I mean, by today's standards, pretty much everything that we possibly can say is too controversial. But now we're gonna get in there. We're gonna dig into the monkeypox, the monkeypocalypse, the latest craze, the latest trend from the CDC and lots of people that like to frighten you with monkeypox. So this is going around. I like, okay. I'm not sure where to begin. Biden's saying currently that monkeypox is not as concerning as COVID. Of course not, but also, they always aren't until they are. Like, COVID wasn't either. COVID was nothing to be worried about until it was this thing that was wiping everybody out, but actually it wasn't. Like, it's the fact that Biden currently is saying that it's not concerning concerns me, but still, there's enough fear porn out there going around right now for me to not believe it, and we're going to get into some reasons why, but keep in mind that your trusty, loyal Joe Biden is, he's keeping it real and letting you know that you shouldn't be scared. And that's from CNN Politics, so you know it's legit. All right. Actually, let's see if we have anything of interest in this article. Quote, we have had this monkeypox in large numbers in the past. We have vaccines to take care of it, Biden said during a visit to Tokyo. I just don't think it rises to the level of the kind of concern that existed with COVID-19. Still, he said, people should be careful. We should be careful. We should always be careful. Everything, there's never, definitives. You just keep being careful, you guys, because those monkeypox are out there. There's monkeypox around every corner, but don't worry. Don't worry. Come on, man.
Come on, man.
All right. Hold on. Let me switch back over here so we don't get any spoilers and I know what we're talking about. Yeah. He said, okay, so, yes, the next thing. Okay. The other day, this is what determined that I had to do this episode, was because the other day I was listening to a podcast that was talking about this monkeypox thing. It was like the day that it was dropping, it was making the rounds in the circulation of scary monkeypox. And as I'm listening to them talk about this topic, I'm like, there's so many things. All the things that I've talked about within the last just 6 months, there's so many things that led up to now that seems like you don't have to be a crazy conspiracy theorist with a yarn wall to tie a couple of these things together. But I started thinking back to some of the things that I've talked about recently on this show, and I'm like, okay. So I had to sit down and make a meme and get my stupid thoughts out before, as I mentioned before, my brain explodes. But so I did, and I stayed up for a while just digging back to some of these articles that I think might have, they're absolutely not in any way related to monkeypox. Let me be very clear here. No ways are they connected to monkeypox. These are just 7 or so absolutely random stories that I drew out of a hat over the last 6 months. But do you guys remember some of the greatest hits? Actually, before we get to the greatest hits, this is a segment. Pretty much the rest of the show is a segment, and that is everybody's favorite segment that we call
The
Gates
world
Watch.
today has 6.8 billion people. Now, if we do a really great job, we could lower that by perhaps 10 or 15%.
Gates Watch.
That's right, it's Gates Watch, where we watch the creepy weirdo that is Bill Gates and keep an eye on him, because he's keeping an eye on all of us. A closer eye than we even know. Well, not closer than we know, but closer than they'll tell us. So here's the articles. These are 7 stories that have nothing to do with each other, obviously. Bill Gates warns of smallpox terror attacks as he seeks research funds. So we talked about this pretty at length. We're going to go through these pretty quickly, but just so to refresh your memory on some of the things that have been discussed over the last 6 months or so, we're going to brief on them. But before we get into that, there's some other weird stuff that we're not going to dig as deeply into, which is like the gay stuff. It seems to be transmitted mostly through gay sex, and the media doesn't seem to feel the need to share that information all that readily to the general public. But whatever, it happens. There are some things that work in mysterious ways. I mean, I would think that if you cared about gay folks, you would let them know if there's a disease that they would be more likely to get. Maybe be more careful. Maybe you should know. But nah, because don't want to hurt feelings, because that's sad and scary. But the shingles thing, there's some people that are conspiracy theorists. Conspiracy time, y'all. If you didn't figure it out, crazy conspiracy theories are going to abound here, and that's why we're going to get the music video banned off YouTube on the day that it releases. But crazy conspiracy theories here, and lots of people I've seen bringing up this comparison to shingles and then saying that the vaccine caused shingles, and now they're trying to explain away those shingles with something new that they're calling monkeypox. I don't know. I don't have any evidence other than a meme that shows 2 pictures that are the same image, but then when I looked at the websites that were in the image, I found it in one, and then I couldn't find the same image in the other, but one was saying monkeypox and one was saying shingles, and it was the same stock photo or whatever, and people are saying, well, that proves it. And that's not enough for me, especially, like, if you have, I don't know, a Wayback Machine capabilities, if you're a smart nerd like that, and you want to go find it for me and send me a link or something, I would be happy to check it out, because I would not be at all surprised if it existed. But when I checked the website, it did not exist at the time. So, whatever, we're not going to spend a bunch of time on those conspiracy theories, because there's plenty enough of real things that are provable that have nothing to do with each other, as I've stated several times here. But first one, Bill Gates warns of smallpox terror attacks as he seeks research funds. We talked about this. Nothing strange here. Let's just, I think this is the right clip. Let me see. Come on. This is from independent.co.uk, so you know it's legit. There, I gave you your credit. Now play your video.
5 years I come write. I'm hoping in 5 years I come write a book called, we are ready for the next pandemic, but it'll take tens of billions in R&D that the US and the UK will be part of that. It'll take probably about $1 billion a year for a pandemic task force at the WHO level, which is doing the surveillance and actually doing what I call germ games, where you practice. You say, okay, what if a bioterrorist brought smallpox to 10 airports? How would the world respond to that? That
oddly specific.
There's math to really cause epidemics, and bioterrorism cause epidemics that could even be way worse than what we experience today. And yet, the advances in medical science should give us tools that we.
Shut up, silly woman.
So yeah, he said that, just oddly specific when asked, like, what would we do if another pandemic came? Well, hypothetically, if there was a smallpox released at 6 airports in Detroit and San Antonio and New York, whatever. Just throwing out hypotheticals here. Like, we do germ games to try and figure out smallpox specifically and other things, but just, and in the conspiracy people community, if you get into like some of the, I don't know, the weirder stuff, the Illuminati stuff and the everything's controlled stuff, which I at least enjoy entertaining. They say, these people and their rituals or something, they have to give you clues, which never really made sense to me. Still doesn't, but if they were gonna, do something like that and they were gonna give you a clue, here's a pretty good hypothetical clue there. Yeah, there's that. And then not days later, vials labeled smallpox found at vaccine research facility in Pennsylvania, CDC says. And keep an eye on the dates. I think I pulled up the right ones with the right dates here. Let me see. This first one was Tuesday, November 9th. And then on November 17th, just days later, smallpox just emerged out of nowhere. And then people are talking about smallpox. And, of course, it was a crazy conspiracy theory at the time to link these two completely unrelated things together. But yeah, and that was in Pennsylvania. They found them at this research facility, and apparently there's only supposed to be like 2 in the entire world that have actual vials of smallpox, so that we can conduct, research and stuff, sciencey things. But this was not one of those laboratories that was supposed to have it. So it's kind of a big freaking deal that, we've got this. Just it's there right after Bill Gates said that. So automatically, if you're a conspiracy person or just a person who thinks with their brains, some red flags going off, some spidey senses. But continuing on, after that, Fauci blasted by PETA for using monkeys in horrendous HIV experiments. I'm not sure. If there's one that's probably the least likely to be connected, I would say it's probably this one, but just a lot of talk about monkeys lately. And this one came in December 2nd, so just the next month after the smallpox talk, we've turned over to monkey talk. And there was this information coming out of these experiments that they were doing on monkeys. I don't remember exactly what the experiments were, but we do know that the puppies were getting their heads eaten and their vocal cords slashed so that they could have their heads eaten by sand fleas. And I'm not making this up, by the way. If you don't know, now you know. They were doing research to see how long it would take sand fleas to eat the dog's face and the dog to survive. But they didn't like the pesky sounds of the dog dying, so they slit its vocal cords first. And then when I say its, I mean there were a lot of them. It wasn't just one. It was just puppies all over the place getting their vocal cords slit so they weren't too obnoxious while they were getting their faces eaten off for the sake of science. And that science being the very important information that we all were asking: how long does it take sand fleas to eat somebody's head and them still be alive? So, monkeys. That's what I'm saying. Monkeys. Next one. So, shortly after that, there was the most Hollywood-esque article headline that I think I've ever seen in my entire life. Infection fears. Woman who stopped to help after lab monkeys escaped from truck crash falls ill, sparking outbreak fears. So, all those Hollywood movies where, you can just see the movie already. It's like, it's cliche even at this point. There's a biohazard or something, and these monkeys are contained, and they're being taken somewhere for testing. And but something happens. The trucker was reaching down to adjust the radio, and then he swerved, and then the truck tipped over. Aside from these specific details, all of this entire story is true according to the news. Truck tips over and monkeys start escaping, and a lady sees, and she goes to help. Actually, according to her at the time, she went to pet them because she thought it was cats. I'm pretty sure is what they said. She thought it was cats, and she went to pet them and realized, oh, that's not a cat. It's something 10 times the size of a cat that is very dangerous. I guess. I don't know what kind of monkeys they are. I don't know what size cats you prefer. But she thought the monkeys were cats, so she went to pet them, and then it hissed at her. I think it scratched her, bit her, whatever, got saliva on her, and she she fell ill and had what they said were COVID-like symptoms, but it included things like pink eye, which is not a COVID-like symptom. So then they were like, oh, it's rabies or whatever. But, you know, that's just a great way to start out an apocalypse movie, which we're now currently living in with the Monkeypocalypse. So I'm not saying this is linked to monkeypox, obviously, but just remember, lab monkeys escaped and bit a woman, an innocent passerby woman, who then turned into, allegedly into a superhero with the strength of 10 monkeys. And then shortly after that, today happened, and this is trending, or, you know, people just saying it's a crazy conspiracy theory. So this headline straight up from Newsweek is "Crazy Conspiracy Theory Claims Bill Gates Behind Monkeypox." So we'll spend a little bit more time on this one and the new ones, because the other two, or the other several, we have already discussed on the show. Go back and find it if you want to hear more. But Bill Gates, the man who, according to, and did I say? Oh yeah, it's from Newsweek. So you know it's legit. Bill Gates, the man who, according to conspiracy theorists, hold on, I need some sound effects in here every time they say this shit. According to conspiracy theorists, whenever they say the magic words, has attempted to have us injected with microchips via the COVID vaccines, is back at it again, this time with monkeypox, according to the latest ludicrous claims. Now, is this an op-ed? I would hope. This is very opinionated right out the gate, to say the least. A number of conspiracy theories have been circulating on Twitter, asserting that Gates is somehow linked to reports of monkeypox cases that have largely emerged in the UK this week. Monkeypox is a viral disease that mostly occurs in Africa and has been seen in humans since 1970. The U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention describes its symptoms as smallpox-like, including fever, aches, exhaustion, and a body rash. In Africa, monkeypox has been shown to cause death in as many as 1 in 10 people who catch it. So, deadly thing. And also, there's a lot of things, at least the other day, that were saying not that deadly, or deadly but not very transmissible or something, like very unlikely human-to-human contact would spread it, is what I'm pretty sure. I don't know. This is still pretty fresh pox here. The emergence of the cases, including 9 in the UK so far this month and 1 in the US this week, has coincided with an upcoming World Health Organization assembly due to take place in Switzerland from May 22nd. Yes, we're going to talk about no, not that. I think it... Yeah, I was thinking of World Economic Forum or whatever when I read WHO. But is there really that much difference at this point? But it does seem like some of these things are oddly timed always. We'll talk a little bit about the evil overlords here in just a minute. It has been reported that the WHO may discuss a possible pandemic treaty at the assembly, which in essence would create a better system for international cooperation to counter health threats. So I just want to know, like, where's the crazy conspiracy theory stuff? Like, that's obviously what I'm here for. You're calling it a crazy conspiracy theory. I just showed you like 6 articles that have nothing to do with each other, and there's no reason why anybody would jump to conclusions after the craziest, pandemic in human history, where lots of people suffered and lived, and I don't know. Like, precedent has been set here, and we all saw what Bill Gates does in pandemics, and we all know about, just the stuff, all this stuff that he loves to talk about, like decreasing the world population and boob milk, artificial boob milk that he's trying to perfect. I'm pretty sure it's his own, actually. When he says artificial, he means his own boob milk. And, taking over the farmland. All the creepy Bill Gates stuff that we talk about on this show. There's no reason to be suspect at this point in history of Bill Gates, even if he says smallpox, and then smallpox are found, and then smallpox become a thing. Monkeypox, whatever. Splitting monkey hairs here. What do you got in the chats? Anything? Oh, White Groiper's here. Do the monkeys rap? I'm not sure what you mean, sir. All right. That's enough. That's enough, sir. That's enough. Anthony Portobello says, didn't the WEF do a monkeypox drill? Hey, hold on. We're getting there. Don't get ahead of me. Chill out. Dickie Walnuts, hello. Hello, sir. Okay, so there's that one. We're going to move on to, another one that's absolutely not related in any way whatsoever to the rest of these stories. This is just another thing that's in the news, and it's from Newsweek, so you know it's legit, and it's the U.S. buys millions of monkeypox vaccines as Massachusetts man infected. Like, the numbers of infections currently are like, I don't know, in the ones of tens? Like, single digits is what I'm trying to say. And we are buying millions and millions of monkeypox vaccines. I don't know if it's prematurely or not. It seems like it might be just a hair. LOL, okay, I'm sorry. Yeah, White Groiper, you know, I have no problem with racist jokes. I just might not read them on the show. And I would probably be more likely to read them if your name wasn't White Groiper. I'm just going to be straight with you. Because, you know, your leader is a dork, by the way. Thanks for being here, though. I appreciate it. Newsweek. U.S. buys millions of monkeypox vaccines as Massachusetts man infected. We're sending billions and billions of dollars into Ukraine. Yes, that might be exaggerated, but lots and lots of money to Ukraine. We're running out of milk or formula shortage, and now we're buying monkeypox vaccines for something that I don't know if they're planning on making it into a thing. I mean, of course, whether they make it into a thing for real or not, which is a possibility, they're going to act as though it is a thing. Because even though Joe Biden's saying right now, yeah, you don't have to be too worried about it, Joe Biden also came out this week and said he supported Taiwan, and then he said that he supported one China, which is the opposite of the thing that he said. And, I don't know what Joe Biden is saying ever. And I don't think Joe Biden knows what he's saying ever either. So Joe Biden saying that it's nothing to fear. Yeah, I don't know. If you wanted to, hypothetically, if you wanted to like test out some new biological warfares and things and see how it goes, and you've done that times in the past, if you wanted to do that, if I was going to do that, I would tell people, don't worry about this. There's nothing to be afraid of. And then I'd put it out. And then I'd be like, oh, shit, this is really bad. And you need to lock down. And then I would double down on that. And, Bob's your uncle. Also, Bob's dead because he was in a nursing home that Cuomo ran. Anyway, so there's that. We're buying a whole bunch of vaccines, which is interesting, to say the least. Now, yes, to whoever spilled the milk or spoiled the, I don't know, words. Yes, we're going to talk about some more things here. The tabletop simulation game of Bill Gates. We're going to talk about that as soon as I take a drink. It's really the biggest problem with solo shows is having to feel like you have to chug a drink really quickly in between because, humans don't normally take drinks. Yeah, with another person here, there's much less of this awkward filler words that I'm saying right now to you. Anyway, Jeffrey Tucker, I saw, he posted, which I love Jeffrey Tucker. I don't know all that much about him, but the few times that I've seen him speak, he is just great. And he's one of those guys that you expect to be, a little bit more left-leaning in the Libertarian Party that don't understand humor and don't, I don't know, don't dig into conspiracy theory stuff, but he's now staking his entire reputation. Like he's the COVID guy, and he's that now, which I think is awesome because he's great. And I love the flamboyancy of him and everything, but is not a bitch at the same time, like lots of people are. Because, I enjoy flamboyancy. I don't know if you've noticed. And I also try to not be a bitch as much as I can. But Jeffrey Tucker said, now I am being called a conspiracy theorist because I happened to notice that last year Gates funded a tabletop game in which a monkeypox virus pandemic begins May 15th, 2022. It's conspiracy theory to notice what institutions post on their own page. I've never done a Jeffrey Tucker impersonation. How was it? Let me know if you know. But yeah, he's being called a conspiracy theorist for pointing out things, which is kind of what I do here. I'm not saying all these things are related. I'm literally not saying all these things are related. Not just wink, wink, not saying it. I'm legitimately not saying it. All I'm saying is, look at that, and look at that, and look at that. Isn't that weird that that happened right after that? And look at that. That's all it takes to be a conspiracy theorist. So, as I've said many times, if you don't like labeling yourself a conspiracy theorist, that's okay, because the government has already done it for you. Isn't that nice of them? Now, Jeffrey Tucker works at the, what is it called? Brownstone Institute. This is their article that we're going to read from. Yes, there's always, if you've paid attention to the crazy conspiracy theory stuff of history, 9 times out of 10, it seems like there's simulations of what would we do in this certain circumstance, and usually they're right before attacks, school shootings, terrorism, 9/11, that stuff. That one school that I'm not going to say, and that other one that I'm not going to say. Most of them seems like, I'm not saying, I'm just saying. Look at that. Isn't that weird? I think it's weird. Apparently, it gets even weirder because Brownstone Institute reports from brownstone.org. Monkeypox was a tabletop simulation only last year. Elite media outlets, and this is not Jeffrey, this is Michael Singer, who I don't know, but it's fine. Elite media outlets around the world are on a red alert over the world's first ever global outbreak of monkeypox in mid-May 2022. Just 1 year after an international biosecurity conference in Munich held a simulation of a global pandemic involving an unusual strain of monkeypox, beginning in May. Specifically, in May. This discussion was organized. This is from the image slide from President. Check their sources. I'm not going to, but I trust them. I trust that they're not pulling anything over on us over there at the Brownstone Institute. The discussion was organized into 3 sequential moves corresponding with scenario developments, followed by a roundtable discussion of border biosecurity and pandemic preparedness issues. The step-by-step approach to revealing scenario developments reflected the limitations of information available to real-world decision-makers, as well as the resulting uncertainty associated with a pandemic of unknown origin. So, May 15th, there you have, May 15th, 2022, scenario, monkeypox outbreaks in Britannia, 1,421 cases, 4 deaths, no international warnings or advisories. International key issues, international alert and warning systems, benefits of and need for early risk assessment. I'm not going to pretend like I fully understand what they're saying here, but it's just they were talking about an attack of monkeypox. When was the last time you heard anybody talk about monkeypox? Ever in your life? Probably never. Good chance never. Yes, there's always the latest one. There's swine flu, bird flu, these pox, those pox, whatever. Monkeypox specifically, they brought it up months ago, and they said, what if it happened on May 15th, 2022? Bill Gates said, what if there was smallpox? Just what if? What would we do? Well, we're going to find out. We are going to find out soon enough, and I don't know what's going to happen. I'm sure they will try and push for lockdowns and all the fun things. I don't know if it's going to work, frankly, because I don't know. It probably would, let's be honest. People are sick of this, but it doesn't, even if people are sick of it, I don't know. Will they do anything this time? Because what did we do? Like, we had some truckers copy Canada for being a little bit more based than we are. That's kind of sad. We did it like several months later and nobody really paid attention. I'll be honest. What will we do? I don't know. So this is all very, very, I don't know, World Economic Forum-y, dehumanizing, as these things often are, as pretty much any time we talk about anything Bill Gates are. And so I'm going to link this next thing into here because I found this morning, and this is in Canada, apparently. I don't know a lot about it, but I don't need to because this advertisement is going around. It's a picture of a little black happy baby smiling, all happy and cheerful, and it says, "The most loving gift you can give your first child is to not have another." The most loving gift you can give your first child is to not have another. Shit. And I'm going to go apologize to my son right now for having him, I suppose. Or at least apologize to my daughter for having her brother. I don't know whose slogan this is or who came up with this, but I would call them a satanic monster, just to put it lightly, personally. Like, this is China of yesteryear that we were all so scared of. And now it's a campaign because climate change is coming. And the only way to stop climate change is by not having another baby. And if you do get pregnant a second time, for the love of God, please kill it immediately for the sake of the child. For the sake of who, again? Who are we preserving the future for? Exactly? I thought it was the children. Oh, think of the children, right? That's a thing. We're thinking of the children. Thinking of killing them, often. But yeah, now that this is where climate change comes to. And you know what? We talked about like lockdowns from climate change, which I still think are probably around the corner, and I don't think it'll be hard for them to try and implement those. But shit, I moved my thing and now I lost my train of thought. Yeah, with the climate change lockdowns and stuff, now we are pushing for just stop bringing children into this world because we don't want the future for those children to be too hot or something. Look, I don't know if climate change is real or not, but what I do know is that it doesn't matter what the future holds if you kill your kids or if you don't have your kids. And if you care about climate change, you know what? If you are one of the climate change zealots and you're so passionate about that everybody else needs to change their lifestyles for your pseudoscience, then you please stop having kids. I don't mean kill them, but I would make the exception of you don't need more kids because the future would be brighter if you didn't procreate. That's so. If you want to, diminish your carbon footprint, you cannot have kids, and the world will not only be a much cooler place, it'll be a much calmer place, and probably more honest place. Let's be honest. Yeah, that'd be cool. Also, if you want to, the best way to to get rid of your carbon footprint entirely is by killing yourself. I'm not suggesting it. It's just one of the options. I mean, you could start with like people like Leonardo DiCaprio not flying his private jet to get his eyebrows waxed before a climate change summit. You could start there, but there's, again, lots of options. So this isn't the only ad either. This is from oneplanetonechild.org, and I tried looking into this. The website wasn't up this morning when I tried looking into it. I don't know if it is now. I don't know if it got shut down because people were complaining or whatever. I don't really know the story. It really doesn't matter. It's pretty clear what the message is, pretty clear what the goal is here. It's going old school China, one child, and you'll be good family with your social credits and social scores and stuff like that. And if you have 2 children, you might get dinged on your social credit there. But lest you doubt that that this is, lest you think this is fake, let's see a couple more of these beautiful ads that they have. We have a climate crisis with burning bushes or burning wildfires and everything, and then parents just hold like their logo is a man and a woman just swinging their child all happily, and they've got that logo on forest fires. It just says climate crisis ? And then it says think small. One planet, one child.org. There's another one that's we chose child free. It's just a couple. Congratulations. I don't care. Did you choose, like, most people that are choosing child free aren't thinking, well, if I take, or let's say even abortion. How many people do you think are like, man, I'm pregnant right now, but I don't want to have this kid because I'm scared of climate change. And if I bring this kid into the world, that little fucker, he's gonna really mess this place up. This one just says we chose one. Oh, that's so nice of you. So darling to, exploit your child to brag about how you, for climate change, didn't want to have more. Here's one with a couple laying in bed, about to get it on, and it says conservation begins at contraception. Wow, okay. This one says congestion begins at conception. That is like the least, or I don't know, the most horrifying maybe? Maybe not quite as horrifying as the first one, but congestion begins at conception, and it has a picture of a traffic jam. That's why you shouldn't have kids, folks. It's because traffic jams. And if we got rid of kids, there'd be no more babies clogging up that traffic, if you know what I mean. So there's that. Oh, there's one more, I think. We chose child free. It's just another sad couple who are hiking. Oh, there's overpopulation with a shark fin. It's supposed to look like a movie poster. It doesn't. Species extinction, deforestation, climate crisis, population. Wait, or no, pollution. Sorry. I was like, population, that I mean, yes, you do think that, obviously you think that that's a bad thing in general, because that's the entire point of this campaign. But, yeah. I don't know, guys. What do you think? Should we be more trusting of people that hope you die? Or hope that there's less of you? Or hope that you don't procreate? Should we listen to that? I don't know. The World Economic Forum, I haven't dug that deeply into it, mostly because I can't stand to listen to this Bond villain speak, but all these things probably tie together in one form or fashion, decreasing the human population and, all the stuff. The monkeypox. But we got to listen to some Klaus Schwab before we jump over into the after party. So if you're not in the Downers Club yet, get into the Downers Club if you want this party to continue, because it is going to continue, and we are going to wrap up earlier than 2 hours today, right here. Then we're going to go over there and talk about some more spicy stuff. But I don't remember the spice level of the after party, but I've got some stuff that my brain will hurt if I don't get it out, so that's what's going to happen. But before we do that, we got to just listen to some things from Klaus Schwab and see if anything sticks out to you here as strange, to say the least. And I mean that aside from the obvious things like his existence, like his face and his voice and the fact that he just is a living Bond villain.
We will focus the program mainly on 4 different areas.
By the way, he said focus, and it took me a while to figure it out. What exactly that word was. It's not what you think it is. It's actually focus, ladies and gentlemen. Focus.
We will focus the program mainly on 4 different areas. First, the war in Ukraine, the aggression
of course.
On Ukraine.
The most important
thing. I
thing.
have the particular pleasure to welcome a very strong delegation from Ukraine among us, composed by members of the government, composed by members of the parliament, by the mayor of Kiev and his brother and other mayors, and of course also by the young generation. Can I ask all our participants from Ukraine to stand up and to give them a special welcome? This war is really a turning point of history, and it will reshape our political and our economic landscape in the coming years.
Expand on that, please. What do you have in mind? Keeping in mind, this is the guy who wrote the book, The Great Reset. You know, that crazy conspiracy theory that we're not allowed to talk about because it's just a crazy conspiracy theory. The guy of the World Economic Forum, the globalist guy, wrote the book, The Great Reset. No, nothing to see here. But yeah, how is it going to completely reshape the economic and the military fabric of our society because Ukraine, yada yada? Give me a couple details. Give me just what's your plan? What's your Great Reset agenda? And he's got the second book too now. That's like I don't remember. It's another thing. Basically the great I don't even remember the word to the joke word that I was going to use to fill in for the fact that I didn't remember it. Let me know in the chats. Whatever. He's a creep. That's what I'm saying.
But we also are at the tail end of the most serious health catastrophe of the last 100 years. COVID.
The most serious of the last 100 years. I don't know. I don't know if that's true. Seems like a bit of a stretch. I don't know, really. Has there been? I mean, when I was a child to now, it seems like every year, like every other year at least, if not every year, there's a new thing that we're supposed to be terrified of. Every time, and it always happens. Like once people start talking about politics again, leading up to a midterm or leading up to an election, seems like that's when the real health crises come out. But this COVID-19 has been the worst in 100 years, and we're going to finish this up because there's another point that I want to drive home.
19, and we have to reinforce our resilience against a new virus possibly or other risks which we have on the global agenda.
What? What was that? Or what? Or other risks that we have on the global agenda. Now, I'm not a smart man, y'all. But when somebody in this position says something like the next virus or other risks that we have on the global agenda, yeah, he probably meant something else. Occam's razor and all that stuff. He probably didn't say... I probably just don't know what he's talking about. That's certainly a possibility. But did you hear that the way that I did? Let's listen to it one more time. It's just, I just can't.
It's the tail end of the most serious health catastrophe of the last 100 years. COVID-19, and we have to reinforce our resilience against a new virus possibly, or other risks which we have on the global agenda.
Other risks which we have on the global agenda. Does that mean like other risks that we're watching with the global agenda? Does that mean whatever? Well, by the way, on that Brownstone Institute thing, I did read at one point. I forgot to get to this point, but yeah, they not like they planned this out. Now I completely forgot it again. Maybe it'll come back to me. Whatever. I don't know. The Brownstone Institute thing is crazy. That they didn't plan it. They just knew it was going to happen. That's all. just like all these other things. And also, I do have here somewhere the Illuminati board game. If you're not familiar with the Illuminati board game, that's okay. You can buy it on Amazon for like $20. And this is something that I didn't plan on talking about today, but maybe we'll open it in the after party, because I still haven't opened this. I bought this. I think it was like the first time I had Ole Damagard on the show, and he was talking about the Illuminati board game, and he was like, "Yeah, you can just buy it on Amazon." There's a bunch of different like versions. By versions, I mean like there's older ones that are worth more or whatever, and there's certain cards that are absurd. But I mean, I have cards that aren't part of this game. Caleb bought me some cards, actually. Let me grab those. Because I want to talk about this real quick before we jump over into the after party, just to make sure that I don't make this short. But while we wait on that, let me find something to play for you. Here's this. All right, I found him. So, to the audio listener, sorry, that was a Jack Casey ad. Or just some music to jam out to. Either way, hope you enjoyed it. But, so these, the Illuminati card game exists, apparently. And these are some of the older cards that Kayla got me for Christmas last year. And they're worth a little bit. But this is the Epidemic one, the Epidemic card. I wish I had a closer shot to show you. But it says Quarantine. Disaster. This is an attack to destroy any place. It does not require an action. Its power is 14. This is not an instant attack. So really, it's mostly about the what the play is, and it's Quarantine Epidemic. So that's that one's not that crazy, but it's pretty common these days in real life. This is, I'm pretty sure, I would have to do a little bit of digging to find out exactly what year this version of the game came out, but pretty sure this is before the thing that's on it that this came out, and it's Pizza for the Secret Meeting. In this, the secret meeting? Is this the secret meeting? Here you go, sir. Double cheese, pepperoni, anchovy, blah, blah, blah. Mushroom, and a microphone. Play this card at any time. So, pizza stuff, and keeping in mind, it's the Illuminati card game. The Game of Conspiracy is what it says here. On the old version that I have here, if you look on the back of it, it was called Illuminati New World Order. So I guess that would be the edition or something. But a couple more here, and then maybe we'll look at the rest in the after party. But Upheaval, it's got riots and stuff, and it basically looks like BLM riots straight up. There's Whispering Campaigns. This card requires an action, blah, blah, blah. So whispering campaigns and propaganda and stuff like that. Not super specific, but there are ones that are oddly more specific. Don't forget to smash the state, military industrial complex, libertarians. I have the Illuminati card game card, libertarians. That's my favorite one. It says, if the libertarians are involved in an attack to take control of any group, if the libertarians are involved in an attack to take control of any group away from a government group, double the total power of the attack. I didn't plan this, you guys, and Reno is tomorrow. Just keep that in mind. The simulation does what the simulation wants. Thank you, Simulation Steve, for this moment. Thank you guys all for being here and joining me for this crazy shit that we are living through. And it's been fun. We're going to keep the party going. Share the song. It'll be coming out here in just a couple minutes, I believe, in about 20-25 minutes. If you're not in the Downers Club, go join the Downers Club at patreon.com/The System Is Down. And we're going to keep the party going, talking about what do we got? What do we got on the after party? Let me see here. The Ministry of Truth, Jurassic Park misogyny. We're going to talk about George W. And Hillary Clinton and some more stuff. Oh, Rand Paul. I believe we got a video talk of Rand Paul slapping the Ministry of Truth and some fun stuff. Gonna be fun, so come on over and let's do that here in a few moments. But hey, if you're gonna be in Reno, hit me up. I'm not the most outgoing guy. I'm a little bit more so on the show probably, but I do want to meet you guys. Want to have beers, whatever. Want to hang out and meet some of you fine folks. I know there's much cooler people to meet, but I will be there. If you will be there, hit me up and say hey at the very least, and let's hang. But until then, until tomorrow. Question everything, stay uncomfortable, be bad, have fun. Let's take this thing over. And monkeypox. You should be scared. So peace out, guys.
Welcome to the system, everyone's a victim. Doesn't matter if you're black or white, it hates you all. Here inside the system, violence is a symptom. Fighting for what's right, but somehow everyone is wrong.
Dun, 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 dun.
Hey guys, thanks for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe on your way out and help us change the world one uncomfortable conversation at a time. And if you like what you hear and you want to hear more, go join the Downers Club at patreon.com/The System Is Down for bonus episodes of the show every single week. Until next time, please continue to question everything, stay uncomfortable, and I'll talk to you then. Thanks.
This has been a Goulash Media production. GoulashMedia.net.
This concludes our broadcast day. Click.